Vintage styles have a unique touch and have a really special space in Indian homes, right? And when we talk about the joy of creating such beautiful spaces, that's exactly where brick cladding comes into picture. Hello and welcome. My name is Mayuri Nagar and I'm coming straight live from My Tiles Display Center here in Bangalore. Today we are going to continue the knowledge series with this episode of brick cladding. My Tiles curates stunning styles, exceptional designs from all around the world just for you. From classics to red-hot trendy pieces, the world is now your oyster. Shop online at mytiles.com. So now let's start with the first piece, trying to understand what is brick cladding and what do you see out there that may look like brick cladding. So what you see over here behind me is a vitrified or a ceramic. So this is particularly ceramic, but what you really come across is tiles like these that mimic the look of brick cladding. Okay, so they mimic the look of bricks being laid together and they're digitally printed typically. This is a ceramic one. You also have vitrified finishes in these. Now these are typically about 8 to 10 mm thick. Whereas if you look at the second option, when we look at anything that mimics a brick layout, brick structure, is brick cladding. There is a big difference between brick cladding and brick printed, like digitally printed brick tiles, right? So the basic difference is that these come in bigger formats, like this one is about 2 feet by 10 inches, and whereas this is 2.5 inches by 10 inches. So this is an individual piece. It is actually laid individually to create a panel, and that is literally what brick cladding is all about. So now when we look at brick cladding, what is other difference, right? So this is considered to be fire resistant by some Japanese lords. They really think that this has fire resistant qualities, and because it is laid down so intricately, it will always have a much more detailed look versus that you see over here. So if you're looking for that rustic feel, brick claddings are the way to go, and if you're on a budget, then you can definitely consider vitrified or ceramic digitally printed brick tiles. So you must have seen brick claddings typically in movies or in cafes. These are very popular, and it might, if you just look at these, they have a very beautiful rustic finish, rustic texture. Now all of these styles, these brick cladding, if we look at it, where does it really all originate from? So let's go back and understand that Asia has always been known as the hub for these clay tile making, brick cladding, firing, all these kind of techniques. And over the period, countries like India, Sri Lanka, Japan, China, all these have really amped up their techniques. So when you come to My Tiles Display Center, you will see different techniques that will come out from different types of brick claddings, because they have been outsourced from different places. But primarily because China is currently the largest provider of these kind of brick textures, therefore most tiles that are coming in are from China. Now one more thing which I wanted to tell you was that because of the beautiful textures, right, and the rusticness that you will see over here, you will also realize that these rustic textures are coming in from the firing techniques solely, how they have been, what kind of temperatures they have been undergone, and what kind of techniques have been used. So that's solely where everything really lies. The beauty of these brick claddings, right, is so in demand that you will always have scarcity of these in terms of supply, because they take a lot of time to actually produce this. There's a lot of technique that goes into it, and if you go and you try to find materials that mimic this particular material, you will find veneers and wallpapers that do the trick, but that will never ever come close to the real deal, because this is not just textural effect, but there's a lot of visual depth to using this product, and therefore I think it makes a huge difference when you use the real thing versus those things like veneers and wallpapers that mimic it. So when looking at brick cladding, right, there are two major types. One is the culture and second is the clay. let's look at the cultured one. So this cultured one, the first one that I'm showing you right here, is made by pouring a homogeneous mixture of cement, or as we call this, concrete, right? It has got some particles that are mixed, the colors are mixed in, and they are actually laid in such a way that you are basically pouring them into a mold and then creating them and sort of giving it a look like this. Now, if you look at this one over here, you can see that there is a lot of evenness in the built, in the texture, and like almost like a very smooth, comparatively smooth finish. I'll compare it to the clay one as well. So there are rustic details, but they're quite subtle and sort of very, very linear in that sense, right? Of course, there are color, indentations that you can see. Colors are also different to give it that rustic feel. But this is what literally a cultured brick is. It is basically nothing but concrete poured into molds, and then those molds are being created. These are paintable, so you can paint them in the color of your choice for whichever application you're thinking about. But this is firstly the cultured bit. Now let's look at the clay one. So the cultured brick cladding comes already pre-painted. So the textural elements or the color depths that are already given and provided. When you look at the cultured ones over here, you will also see that the edges and the corners are very nicely finished. There's a lot of linearity, like I spoke about earlier, right? So a lot of this looks very clean and also slightly on the modern side, right? Now, if we talk about the clay brick, it is totally different. Let me show you the clay one over here. So let's look at even this panel over here. So this is a clay brick cladding. So here what happens is that the clay is actually fired at really high temperature, and that's how you create the clay brick cladding. It comes with that, that look and feel of an actual brick because of the same reason that, the finishes, if you look at over here, they are not very, very finished, and that's where all of the rustic texture, all of the rusticness, literally very, very raw for that matter, appears over here very clearly. And I think that's where these they have that beautiful solid rustic charm versus that of cultured brick cladding. Here if you see, let's take a closer look over here. So if you see, even everything looks like that almost an actual brick has been laid on top of each other, and that is the beauty of these brick claddings. So I think when it comes to the rustic nature, the drawing of that rusticness, if you want in your space that you're designing, I would say that it's better to go for a clay brick cladding versus that of, say, a cultured one. I think that would be the major difference. This pure clay that is baked and fired and has that outer finish that shows a lot of unevenness, the faint distressing and the darkened blotches. The generous rustic details along the edges are spontaneous results from the process. In case of clay, you can spray a sealant, which is this one that I'm showing you over here. You can go for anything that's available or recommended by Miles. So you can spray them, and what it does is it creates a stain-free look through its wet look as well. So it gives a slightly wet look and also provides that sheen that keep this going for a long time and makes it stain resistant. Well, just like most things, even in brick cladding, the right color, selection of the right color is very important in invoking the right vibe. Let's talk about the first color, which is red color. Of course, thinking about bricks, you can literally think about the red color, but red is not just the color, right? There are so many variations in it. So for example, you have beautiful auburns, you have beautiful terracottas, some very sharp carmines also there, and those really bring out different modes when applied in different spaces. So when you're looking at this is a more even reddish, typical classic brick red. But then you have, let's look at this one over here. You have some beautiful terracotta shining through over here, right? And then carmines also, some carmines you can see over there. So these have very, very different color variations which allow you to choose, make a selection for your space. If you are, say, trying to also think about how can I create a difference maybe in the same look or same color panel of brick cladding, then over here you must understand that we have, say for example, there's a very different stark look you can create by using different type of grouting. So here we've used a grey grouting and here we've used white, and you can see that it gives you a very different look, right? So maybe in a outdoor space, I would probably end up using grey with this beautiful cladding over here, and maybe something indoor where I want to keep it slightly more contemporary, then I can go ahead and use white. White gives you that very clean look, and that is something that really calls out to it. Speaking of white, let's check out some white brick cladding now. So now let's look at the white brick cladding. In terms of color, this is of course one of those colors that allow you to look at it as a very clean setup. So when we look at the white brick cladding, it provides that white and innovative flair to your space, of course, because these crisp whites are very they look very neat and clean, and in spaces which have a very contemporary vibe or a semi-contemporary vibe, these are perfect to be used. So for example, if you're looking at a mid-century modern, right, or a boho chic home, this is something that you can really use. Even in contemporary, like I said, you can mix and match and use some spaces to be highlighted. For example, a feature wall or a wall that really comes right ahead of your foyer, and you're like, oh, you know what, I would like to cover it and make it a masterpiece instead of like a eyesore. You can definitely do that. So there are various applications for it. We have this one over here, which is in clay, which is in culture. We'll show you another one variant in Supreme White or Crisp White in clay as well. Let's have a look at that quickly. So this is the second variant that I wanted to show within the Supreme Crisp White brick cladding over here. So as you can see, this has more rustic texture shining through versus that we had seen in culture. So clear, like we said, right, has more depth, visual depth, and also like the rustic nature really shines through. This can again be applied in similar spaces. When talking commercial spaces, you can go from cafes to even game rooms also. You're trying to make something a little bit more masculine but modern, you can definitely go for these. In homes, you can use them honestly almost everywhere, from whether it is feature walls to TV units to even creating a very say rustic old world kitchen. You can use it as a part of where your breakfast corner or breakfast nook is made. You can do it there. Put it in, say, outdoor spaces, indoor outdoor spaces, balconies, etc. So this really can be used over there. See, if you look over here also, you will see that there is a lot of this rusticness which kind of plays out, and I think that is really the USP of using brick cladding over here. And in this color, it just provides you that little modernity into something which is very old world. To maintain these crisp white brick cladding, one can easily maintain them by painting and finishing them off. So now let's look at the third effect or the third color variant over here. It's called as the burnt effect brick cladding over here, and it is pretty much the part of the process. So when these these clay brick cladding is baked, right, it's been created as a part of the baking process. You will see beautiful grays and reds kind of come through, the blacks also slightly brownish gray kind of touches that you will see over here. If you see over here, you will see them, and that is called as the burn effect. They come naturally as a part of the baking process. They're not applied or created, and that's one thing which you need to understand when it comes to brick cladding, that most of these finishes that are coming out look very natural and bring you very close to feeling that you really have been using the actual bricks that have been probably baked in the kiln, right? So if you look at over here, you can of course apply them with, say, grey grout or even white grout if you want to create that effect and sort of enhance it much better. But see over here, just look at this particular brick over here. If I see the cladding piece over here, this is very nice. It's giving you almost a very rustic feel upon in addition to the texture. So if you look at, say, this one which I have over here. This is a gorgeous piece over here where you can see the reds shining through from, behind the burned effect. So you have like as if it's actually been burnt. So this is something that provides you that added texture and variety when you're coming to choose at the display center. So now let's understand the application of brick cladding. So if I look at these, right, these are beautifully applicable in say outdoor spaces. But even in commercial spaces, if we look at these, they can be used in say gyms, cafes, say for example, the lobby of a commercial space. They have a lot of beautiful applications. You can even place some very cute and quirky artwork on it that will actually pop because of the background. So many ways that you can really use them in commercial spaces as well as in residential spaces, whether it is a balcony or anything else, So it's literally bases your imagination and just look at the colors, right? So there's a lot of difference. So if you're going for something more brighter, you can probably go for this. If you're going for something a little bit like a subtle charm, then this one. If you're going for something extremely modern, you can use a nice crisp white. So options are endless. This includes your dining spaces, indoor lounges, balconies, TV units, outdoor units, and outdoor lounges and backyards, front ports, and main entryways. You can literally don your walls literally using these everywhere. You can even use them in exteriors or for elevation. The calming, soothing ambience can be attributed to the insulating properties of brick cladding. Check out these client images where MyTile clients have specially sourced these brick claddings from here and use them in their homes as well as commercial spaces. MyTiles has some top-notch creative ways to utilize brick cladding on their inspiration gallery. The link has been listed just for you in the description box below. So now that we have covered most of the things about the aesthetics part, let's also now understand what kind of layouts are available when you're using brick cladding. The most popular one being the brick layout or the running bond, which is this one. So you'll see these are classic brick layout, and that's called as running bond. There is another one which I'll show you quickly. Let's have a look at that one. Apart from the running bond, if you're feeling more adventurous, you can also go in for herringbone pattern, stacked pattern or vertical as well, and actually enhance a lot of beauty and interest in your walls. So now we are down to the installation of brick cladding. It's probably the most important topic within the entire episode. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for this. Let me talk to you about what makes it really important. Firstly, it's very important to understand that brick cladding installation is not an easy task. Only experts should be hired for it. Somebody who is an expert in installing brick cladding should be hired for it. And let's start with some details about it. So when you look at brick cladding, these are individual pieces, right? So when we're installing them, and because unlike thinner materials like tiles, they have a pretty good thickness, right? Almost 12 mm. And when we look at adding these, they also carry a lot of weight, right? So what is very important is to create the grip between the surface that they are being applied on and between the cladding itself. So the first step is to prepare the surface for it. So when I talk about preparing the surface, what does it really mean? It means that you will chisel that surface. So I'm talking about say a typical concrete surface. You will chisel that surface. You will ensure that there is no putty, there's no paint on it, there's no dust on it. So creating that roughness is very important, because only then will you have longevity in terms of that application being there, and there should not be an issue of the brick cladding falling out, because that can not only be dangerous, but it is something which should not happen, right, in any application. So I think that is something which is very important. In order to apply these, we use a 7-star adhesive. This is the adhesive that is typically used. It's available at MyTiles. So if you're looking to install your brick cladding, come here, speak to a person who can guide you and ask for these 7-star adhesives. 7-star adhesive means that it has a huge adhesive capability to hold a heavy material like this, onto the surface. Now, brick claddings can not only be applied onto concrete walls but can also be applied on POP or, say for that matter, plywood. But in that case, the adhesive will be different. So whenever you're here, speak to the team, speak to the executive. They will guide you to the right type of adhesive. Here we are showing you 7-star because typically these are applied on concrete walls. Now, when we talk about using the adhesive, right, with brick cladding, two things you need to remember, and these are extremely important. So I'm going to say this very clearly. One is nothing on the back, no putty, no paint, no dust, right, chiseled surface. And second is ensuring that you use a 10 mm or 8 to 10 mm the spacer. So we've spoken about spacers before as well. This is a plastic X kind of a thing. They range from 1 mm, 2 mm and upwards. Typically 2 mm is recommended for tiles, but in this case we will recommend 8 to 10 mm, which is a standard. So these are basically placed here, and then accordingly the grouting is done. When you put the adhesive, typically in a brick cladding application or installation process, a tape is put on this side and here. These are the masking tapes on this side, this side, this side and this side, all 4 sides. Why is it done? It is done so that the adhesive does not get on top of the brick cladding. If it gets on there, it will be very tough to remove it and it will get stained. So in order to avoid staining, or any kind of changes to the color and texture, we ensure that there's a masking tape which is put all around. And once the adhesive is applied, masking tape can be removed after a considerable time, right? So that is something that we need to ensure along with this, and that pretty much takes care of your installation bit. But like I said, please remember all these things. I'm going to quickly summarize. You need to have spacers. You need to use the right kind of adhesive. 7-star is what we've recommended. And most importantly, you need to ensure that the surface has enough hold, and that hold will be created by the friction or by the indentation on that surface. So that can be achieved by chiseling. It can be created by ensuring that there are no smooth textures like putty, paint, etc. And one more thing which I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to grouting. We are recommending 8 to 10 mm for this particular one. But if we go upwards, for example, you want to go for thicker grout lines, that will change the amount of brick cladding that you will be using for that particular square footage. So that will go low, which means, so for example, if you're using say 10 over here, then it might come down to 8 or 6 depending upon the grouting. So then the grout will increase, the brick cladding will decrease. So in conclusion, the installation of brick cladding is a labor-intensive process. It must be implemented by an expert, and while you're installing them, all the edges must be sealed properly using the adhesive, the grouting, the grout which you're going to be using. So, well, let's talk about maintenance. Just keep it simple is what the mantra is for brick cladding. It literally needs very low maintenance. You can dust them off with a soft cloth, wipe them as well. You can vacuum them from time to time. It's very, very low maintenance bed, so you don't really need to kind of rack your heads in terms of maintaining them. In case of clay, it is needed. You can spray a sealant, which is this one that I'm showing you over here. You can go for anything that's available or recommended by my tiles. So you can spray them. And what it does is it creates a stain-free look through its wet look as well. So it gives a slightly wet look and also provides that sheen that keep this going for a long time and makes it stain resistant. So we are finally into the frequently asked questions section. Here we're going to understand what questions you have and answer them. So the first question that you have is, what is the typical average budget of a brick cladding, right? So brick claddings normally range from 150 to 200 square feet. They are of course a premium material, right? More premium than usual tiles. So when you look at the pricing, it may vary depending upon certain variants present within that category. But just comparing, say, clay brick cladding to culture, clay brick cladding is more expensive than culture brick cladding. So your next question is, what are the popular shades in brick cladding? So popular ones are terracotta red and white. These are most popular ones, but even the burn effect and the clay ones, brick claddings are picking up and are becoming more popular. Where can I use brick cladding, you ask? Well, the applications can be in interiors, can be in semi-outdoor and outdoor. Nothing limits you from their use. So you all wanted to know whether the installation and maintenance of brick cladding is very difficult. The answer is, especially for installation bit, the answer is yes, it's extremely difficult, and therefore you always need an expert to install these. This is a very labor intensive task, so please hire professionals to do this. But when it comes to maintenance, they are fairly easy, straightforward to maintain, very low maintenance, right? So the entire thing boils down to installation. If your installation is great, you really need not worry, and that's why we emphasized on the installation bit a lot. Is a sealant or a polish needed for brick cladding, you ask? So the answer to that is, for clay, for cultured brick cladding, we don't need a sealant or a polish, but in case of clay, it is needed. You can spray a sealant, which is this one that I'm showing you over here. You can go for anything that's available, recommended by MyTiles. So you can spray them, and what it does is it creates a stain-free look through its wet look as well. So it gives a slightly wet look and also provides that sheen that keep this going for a long time and makes it stain resistant. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. You know what you have to do to keep hearing from us.